after I explain for Russians something about this place and how I come here and where we are sitting. So let's start from the middle of the way. Please tell me and tell us a little about the history of your dynasty.
Dynasty is a very old story. We started from Chalukya dynasty. We were south. We were Telugu speaking rulers. We were basically from Chalukyas. It's a very old dynasty which actually covered the entire South India once upon a time. And then we came into Warangal, known as Kakatiya royal family.
Yeah, Kakatiya.
Yeah, so we were Kakatiyas only. And after Kakatiya, the younger brother came and established this kingdom, Bastar. In 1010, we established this kingdom as Bastar. And this is basically geographically wise, it is in
So the beginning even older than...
it's very old.
Yeah,
Bastar has...
10,000
Yeah, maybe it's more than that. 1,000 years only in Bastar. We have spent 1,000 years in only Bastar. Earlier we have been in Warangal for few decades. Then we were Chalukyas for few decades. Then we were basically, the lineage comes from south. So it's a very long lineage.
It means your dynasty covered all the visible history of Bharat.
Yeah.
Huh?
And there's been, the blood has never changed. The same bloodline has come. The bloodline has never changed. Bloodline remained the same from that day. Means, for example, like, we have not taken anyone into the throne. Like, none of the kings took, you can say, adoption. There's never been adoption on the throne. There's been a single hair, like, with the natural process, and the God has been blind to us. The Kuldevi of ours, you must have seen the temple. That's our goddesses. She has been the protector of the house. And she has always been the leading head of our family.
What's it called?
That's a goddess's name is Danteshwari. She is basically, we call her the main person of this house. She heads the family. Danteshwari, that's a goddesses. That's our family deity.
Danteshwari.
Danteshwari,
clarify please.
Danteshwari is basically...
Is it somehow concerned to Durga?
Yeah. It is a part of Durga, but when there was Sati, that the Shiv did Sati, so the teeth fell in Dantewada.
Yes, I know.
So then Dantewada became the goddesses gave the king, the first king who came here from Warangal, Annamdeva. She gave her the darshan as a lady, that I am with you. So she gave the vastra. Vastra means the, you can say, upper cloth.
Yes.
Something. And that she gave it to the king and said that you take this vastra. Because we were South Indians, we could not pronounce vastra. We pronounced it as bastra. That came into Bastar. So that came Bastar dynasty, and the vastra, wherever the Maharaja took, became his kingdom. So that was a God-gifted state to us. So after that, Maharaj went, the geographical size of Bastar state was triple times Kerala. It's too big. It's bigger than London, England. The land became very big because we consider Bastar, Warangal, Chalukya, so it's a very big kingdom. So, and Bastar ruler used to stay here. This was the palace where he stayed. We had 7 palaces. So, we gifted 6 of the palaces to the local tribes. We destroyed the palaces and gifted the land to the villages. And this is the last palace which we built.
You destroy the palaces?
Yeah, palaces and
for the land?
For the land to be given into the tribals. They were huge lands. The armies used to stay there.
When was it?
This started basically maybe in 12th century, somewhere in 13th century, somewhere in 14th century, and somewhere in 15th century. So after 12th century, they started building up.
Do somebody around who has kingdoms or...
There's no kingdom.
I mean, no, at that time.
Yeah, that time there was only one kingdom which was basically from here it is 100 kilometers. Jaipur in Odisha. Jaipur in Odisha, but that was also captured by us. We fought that. And from here you go till Raipur. That's like 300 kilometers.
I mean, did someone same things like you did with the destroying of palaces and giving
Nobody
them?
did it.
Nobody.
Nobody.
It was the only experience.
We gifted like huge palaces to the people, and we give it on the names, not like we just gifted just for the sake of gifting it. We had our own currency, we had our own stamps, we had our own currency.
What's the name of the currency?
Currency was Maharani Sahab's coins. We had gold coins, we had some brass, we had coppers. So a lot of coins were there introduced. So gold coins were there, silver coins were there. We had our own stamps. Then after,
What's the language you have?
here we have a lot of dialects. We have Gondi, Halvi, Bhatri, Durla. Then there are sub-dialects because we are bordering Maharashtra, Andhra, Telangana and Odisha. So the dialect mixes with Odisha sometimes. So
But
it
at
has,
that time before, I mean, did you have a own language?
yeah, we still have our own languages. Every tribe here has different language. I am not a tribe.
Yeah.
I am a Kshatriya. But my entire subjects, the royalty, the subjects which we had, the entire country, you can say the entire public here, majority were Adivasis.
So there wasn't any language like state language or kingdom language.
Yeah, we had a kingdom language. That was known as the royal family language, which was used in the family of royal family only. They were not used by the other royalties. It was only used by the royalties. And the servants of the royalties used to use that. So they used to understand that they are the people from the royal family. They must be serving. So that was the royal family name, and it was known to be like Bastaria only, we used to call it. The language was basically royal language.
So it was the language speaking just...
Within the campus, within the kings, within the family, within the servants, within the staff. Then as you move ahead of Bastar, like you cross 10, 12 kilometers.
Nobody understand it.
Nobody understand it. So then after that there were languages from different tribes, like Gond have different languages. Then there are
Can you still
every
speak
10
that
kilometers.
language? What?
I can speak.
You can speak?
Yeah, I can speak. I can speak maximum 2-3 languages. There are like 6 main dialects.
That's royal language, I mean. Yeah?
No, they are tribal languages. They use their own language in their own community.
You mentioned the royal language.
Yeah, that is different.
Yeah,
That is not
yeah.
spoken by anyone else. That's for the royal family.
Nowadays it's done.
No, now also it's not done. It's only for the royal family.
Yeah, but can you still speak that royal
Yes. Yeah, I can. We speak that language here. But when you go out of this
That's
place,
I understand.
then the language changes. After 12 kilometers, you'll find Dhurla. There's the Dhurva community which speaks. Then you go
It's
to
absolutely unique language.
Yes, it's all unique. So the best part of this language is that it is
It's something near to what? To
Yeah.
which? To Hindi?
it's
to,
basically near to the Sanskrit.
near to Sanskrit.
Yeah, it's near to Sanskrit. Words are very difficult to pronounce, but easier because we have been from our childhood we have been speaking, so it becomes easy for us. But certain languages,
Can you say just one simple sentence?
like for example, for example, we say Kasan Karua.
Kasan karu.
Means basically this is basically what do you want to do? So this is basically, it's a small thing which I am saying, but there are different words which are very complicated, but it has been used here. But there are certain languages which are very complex, which I also don't know how to speak. Like after these 7-8 languages are there, so we actually speak only 3 to 4. 4 I understand, 3 I speak. And 3 of them has their own written dialects also. Written, scripted, written, spoken. Or only 2 or 3 are there which don't have written also. They just speak. They don't know how to write it. So like that there are a lot of languages here. And we were basically this area where you are traveling. This is known as Bastaria. They will not call them as Chhattisgarh. There are 2 differences in that. If you cross Raipur, where you landed, Raipur is basically Chhattisgarh bit.
Yes.
There were 36 forts. That 36 forts were governed by 36 Gond rulers. Gond means tribal rulers were the kings, and still they are. And if you cross towards us, we became Kshatriyas. We are not tribals. We are not a general category. We become into Kshatriyas. So they are Varnas, Brahman, Kshatriyas. So we are Kshatriyas. And then you go ahead, Sharguja. There are two kingdom big ones. Then Sarguja, then again they become Kshatriyas. So these two kingdoms were Kshatriyas, and middle part was known as Chhattisgarh. But we are incorporated it because we were the part of Madhya Pradesh. It's a very
Yes,
interesting
two kingdoms, what the relations was different.
Yeah,
sometimes fighting,
No, there was no fighting
no
at all.
fighting.
They basically, that kingdom was basically very close to Uttar Pradesh, these areas. Our kingdom was very close to Odisha and all these places. So we had a lot of wars. We had a war with Hyderabad Nizam also, and we won it. We are the only family who won the fights with Hyderabad Nizams, who were the richest people in the world. We defeated them. Bastar family has always been a very charismatic family and always fought wars, won all the wars. So there were a lot of the people from Marathas were also here. Then there were Nagvanshis here. So we fought them and we got them. A lot of places like Barsur, if you go, Barsur was Nagvanshis. Then there are certain places which were basically Marathas. So we basically destroyed them and took over the places.
Was it your main place in Basur before?
No. We basically evaded things. We started from Warangal. From Warangal we started capturing slowly. We went up till the border of our state. That is known as Charama. It's very close by. We're not close by, it's around 250 kilometers from here. It's a long, big state. It's a very big state.
But in Basur it was also...
Under Bastar. Yeah, they are all under Bastar. So we had like, Bastar Maharaja had zamindars. So we had 36 zamindars under us. So Sukma is one. Then Barsur is one. Then there is Bhopal Patnam is one. Pakhanjur is one. Kanker is one. So like that we had a lot of zamindars to take care of that region. And the kingdom was managed by the ruler.
Is it possible to say that you are king?
Yeah, basically we, in Indian democracy, because we signed and gave our kingdom to the nation of India, to make Governor General of India. We signed it and gave it to the President of India. Yes, but by the people's view that yes, we are religious heads. We still do the entire rituals, festivals of our own goddesses. We take care of all the rituals. And it is like the other side, then politically we are involved. I am in BJP. We are in a part of the organization of Bharatiya Janata Party. So a lot of kings have gone into different parties. So I am into Bharatiya Janata Party. So I represent BJP. We are the Prime Minister. So we are basically, we are king in our own sense, but not with the kingdom. Because now we have the kingdom known as India. So we have given all our kingdoms to the country because my grandfather signed the merger.
It's only in the last residency.
Yeah, this is the last residence of the king. So this is the residential palace. Then we have official palace. There are two palaces. This is my residence where I live. Then there is one more place where we have official palace. That is basically where we conduct meetings, seminars. It is ahead of here. It's like around 4 or 5 hours drive.
In Jagdalpur?
Yeah. So that is there. Then we have some shikar badi. We used to go for hunting. There are different lodges of ours here. That is also there.
It is still allowed for you to hunting? No.
That is
because of the law.
Yeah, because of the government of India. When we merged,
Right.
so they have their own constitutions.
It's from the...
Yeah, from the central government and from the president as well as the constitutional assemblies. And the Lok Sabha decides the law.
Yeah, I know.
So we law decided, and basically now we being a royalty as well. We try to preserve animals now rather than killing them. Earlier we used to do, like when I was young, I used to travel to South Africa for hunting. So India was not allowed, so we used to go for hunting. I went to London for hunting. Scotland somewhere we went for hunting.
Fox.
Yeah, we did all types of hunting. I have shot a lion, I have shot a tiger in South Africa, and deers.
Tiger?
Yeah.
In South Africa?
No, tigers we did it in here. I'm forgetting the place. There we were invited there. I think it's somewhere, it was very close to America, some place. I was very young that time. So it was like, the shooter was there with me to take care of the gun. They were too heavy gun. But he shot because I was holding the gun. And the lion definitely in South Africa. This was recent, maybe 7, 8 years back. 8 years back I did. Then it was basically just to, like you have to pay for that in South Africa, and it's a heavy amount to be paid. So we paid, and deers and all that, that's a really small sports. So we did that also, and then we have been doing that. But after I joined politics, I completed my studies, then I stopped all these things. Now basically into helping people, taking care of the area.
You born here?
Sorry?
You were born here in Jagdalpur?
Yeah.
Yeah? And then?
No, I was not born here. I was born in my mother's place. In Gujarat.
In Gujarat?
My mother is from Gujarat. She also royalty from Gujarat. She married here. So there's a rule that the boy has to be born there.
How many royal families still exist in India?
More than 400. 450. More than that. More than 450. And
In this case,
it comprises of...
In this case, your sister have still some chances.
Yeah.
Find the right.
That we will. That time will automatically manifest.
And where did you study?
I studied in Rajkumar College, Jaipur, then in Bangalore, in Karnataka, Bangalore. Then I went to London. Then I was studying.
Was the department in university?
Yeah,
Bangalore?
I went to St. Joseph's College of Commerce. St. Joseph's College of Commerce. BCom honors I did. Then from there I went down to London, and I went to Coventry University. I did Master of Science in International Business.
2, 3.
Yeah. So studied a lot. Still reading.
High education.
Still reading, learning. There are two types of learning. One you get it from books, one you learn it from experiences.
Yes.
When you face. So both the learnings are still on. Every day you get to know something or the other.
Right.
That learning experience is always goes on.
Then comes the third one.
Yeah.
As I feel, when you forget all what you knew before, and you come to the silent area of open space of everything.
So that step will slowly come as the age passes by.
Yeah.
So still we are taking care of the people. Our subjects are very dear to us. We fight for them. We fight for the tribal rights. We fight for the animal rights. We fight for the tribal rights.
It is the most close to me about animals in jungle. That is my main interest. I go to the jungle all these 15 years illegally because I hate this safari way of coming to the forest. Only real experience, one-to-one, would be but it's not legal. But I still do that. With the tigers, I had many meetings with such distance like we are sitting, walking, with open hands.
I've got sometimes when I was young, maybe around 17, 18 years old, at that time I played with the cubs, small babies of tigers.
Yeah.
Because it was basically, the mother was shot by some poachers and all that, so the child was like just roaming around it. So we had to take them into the government's custody to take care of the kids. So then that time we had them. That was the first time I experienced small tiger cubs, to play with them. And it's basically good to have animals around them. But now it has been difficult.
Yeah, because of law. It's not allowed
It's not allowed
to take it home. So you say about 300 rooms.
Yeah.
here?
This must be this section, the entire building you saw. This must be around 150 to 2. Then the main building, then you entered that place. And there are a lot of places inside. So they got different small houses also. Which is like 30 houses, 30 room houses, 40 room houses. They are differently, but they are inside the campus.
Probably they have a huge archive.
Yeah.
Archive of
Yeah.
all the history
Yeah.
of your royal family. How big is it?
It's a huge.
Huge. You keep it here.
Yeah, I keep it here. Some are in the palace that side, the official palace. Some I keep it in Raipur. So I've been keeping it in different places and preserve it also.
What do you think about the future of this archive? Do you think to open at least a part for the public?
We're trying to do it, but I don't want to displace everything. But few, which are basically, you can say, important for the public to know. How we came into existence, how Bastar was formed. So these things we are trying to display. So we have got
some
stone
documents,
inscriptions.
some letters in between.
Letters are
important.
there. Letters are there. We have stone inscriptions. We have Shila lakes. Then we have some brass treaties. Tambapatra we call it as. That treaties. We have a lot of things that we are trying to slowly do it. Because it has to be done it in a very systematically, and if one tourist comes to see it from any other country, they should what I am trying to do is like part of the palace which I don't live with. We are restoring it, so we are making it as a walk-in museum. That is the work is on. So you will go through the history line. You will come to us. They will not be there, but the photos will take you to us. So it starts from that era, how we did, how we struggled, where we fought wars. Then when the treaty came, who signed the treaty with the government of India? Then right now what are the powers which our royal family holds?
It should be done.
Yeah. So that has been done. That has been documented. We're just trying to get the things ready. Because if it's displayed, so it should be properly organized. So we have the dresses of the
You are
kings.
so important figure in the history of Bharat.
So what
So many museums which cannot show really good stuff.
Yeah.
They are very poor, but you can make a
so what we are
brilliant.
So we are trying to use like with the clothes which kings wore. That we have different clothes which we wear in different functions. So that we have from 5-6 generations. That we are displaying.
Could you tell about that page in the history of Bharat by time of Ashoka? What was with your royal family at that time?
That time we were.
How you
we were
relate to?
see what happened like India when everything was handled by Delhi. Delhi became the head of the entire country. It was country headed by the Delhi. So Bastar was never captured by Britishers or never captured by the Mughals. Because we were a tribal state. Being a tribal state, we had this leverage or privilege, you can say, that there were no invasions. For example, all the states you see, all the small states or Delhi, if you go to Nizamuddin and these places, they have all monuments of Muslims' invasion has been clearly seen. They have destroyed the temples, they have built up the mosques.
Yeah, but for them you were also
A threat.
Yeah.
So
because of reach,
Rich,
because of power.
Yeah. We never were defeated. We were Kshatriyas, we loved to fight. It was in our blood. So the major in Ashoka's time, what happened that we were tribals. We were never infected by them. We were only affected by Hyderabad Nizams. As a Muslim, he was a person who fought with us.
But Ashoka was fighting in Kalka, in Arisa. It was a huge battle.
Calicut, that is basically very far from here.
Far.
It's very far.
It didn't touch.
Yeah, it's like it does not reach here.